NTA International News.
Aisha Muhammadu Buhari charges Muslim wife security. Speaker House of Representatives flag off maiden youth pilgrimage to Israel. Niger Insurance PLC says it remains consistent in achieving mandate. And 1 year of no new case of poliomyelitis in Nigeria, major stakeholders celebrate feat. It's good to have you join us on NTA International News. I'm Taiwo Odubeson. We're starting off with a seminar for Nigerian governors' wives. The wife of the president, Mrs. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, has charged the wives of governors to expedite action towards coming up with programs that will enhance the lives of people at the grassroots. Mrs. Buhari stated this during the 2-day seminar on protocol, etiquette and security organized by her office in collaboration with CIP International, United Kingdom. State House correspondent Aliyu Kabir reports.
Seminar on protocol, etiquette and security brought together wives of the Nigerian governors from across the country, powered by the office of the wife of the president in conjunction with the UK-based private company. Within the 2 days of the seminar, participants brainstormed and shared ideas on how to carry Nigerian electorate along in the quest of nation building, particularly women, youth and children, which constitutes majority of the nation's population. The wife of the president, Mrs. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, emphasized the need for the governors' wives to come up with laudable programs to complement the effort of the present administration at bridging the gap of infrastructural deficit, particularly in the rural areas. She equally urged them to support the government towards alleviating the hardship of Nigerians based at various internally displaced persons camps. Mrs. Buhari employed the wives of the governors to constantly come in close contact with one another to effectively address the challenges of women, youth and children in order to enhance the nation's economic growth. And the wives of the governors say they remain committed in supporting the development of the country in all spheres of human endeavor. The wife of the president had earlier organized a dinner in honor of the wives of the Nigerian governors. From the State House, Aliyu Kabir, NTA News.
Moving on to religious matters. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, has flagged off the maiden youth pilgrimage to Israel with a request to the youths to pray for the peace, unity and prosperity of Nigeria while in the Holy Land. Timothy Yusuf reports that the flag-off ceremony took place at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, from where the first batch of the youth departed for Israel.
The youth pilgrimage to Israel is self-sponsored either by the church or the individuals. This first part for the trip comprised of 133 youths. The pilgrimage is to instill both spiritual and moral discipline in the youth. One unique feature in this pilgrimage package, however, is the building of various vocational skills acquisition programs in the youth while in the Holy Land. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, enjoined the youth to be good ambassadors of Nigeria and return to assist in the ongoing effort to transform Nigeria.
We really want them to go and learn what has made Israel tick, in spite of the fact that it's a desert nation with little or no resources, but they've been able to transform that country into an agricultural miracle.
The Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission, John Kennedy Okpara, described the youth pilgrimage as the way towards self-sustenance and gradual reduction of pressure on government for pilgrimage sponsorship.
I believe that when you go, God will use you to be able to move our nation forward.
Other speakers wished the pilgrims well and enjoined them to particularly pray for an end to insurgency in the country. The youth promised to return as agents of change. Speaker Yakubu Dogara inspected the aircraft that later conveyed the youth to Israel. The Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission, in another development, has commenced its online medical examination for the selection of medical teams across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. At the North Central Zone Center held at the JAM Computer-Based Test Center in Buhari FCT, the NCPC Executive Secretary said the initiative is geared towards ensuring transparency in its affairs. in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Still talking religion, prayers across churches in Abuja today focused on sustained socio-economic and political development of Nigeria. The church is hopeful that Nigeria will survive in spite of the present security challenges in the country. Uche Wizu reports.
It is another Sunday, a day Christians gather en masse to worship and praise God. Today is special, as it doubles as the last Sunday of the month and the end of the midst of the year. The period God showers blessings on His faithful.
As Nigerians, God has blessed us. When things are going in a way that may not be our own way, we shouldn't say, okay, we forget about God. We should always have hope and faith.
God has done so much for us in this country. You know what speculations we had before our election, and by God's grace, we came out of it successfully.
The faithful believe that the future is bright for Nigeria, and to achieve this, the youth must be aglow in the spirit.
We need to affect their generation positively. They should become veritable tools in the hands of God that will move this society forward.
They should know that no need to give up. Things are going to get better.
Christ led his disciples, and there was a storm trying to let the boat capsize. But because he was there, he overcame. And the same Jesus now can overcome for us.
They enjoined the citizens to contribute their quota in ensuring the desired change in the country. Uche Wizu, NTA News.
Away from religion, July 24, 2015 will ever be remembered by Nigerians and the international community as the day Nigeria made a strong statement towards the eradication of polio in the country, having recorded no new case of poliomyelitis in 1 year. Chukwunonso Moore reports that one of the major stakeholders in this campaign is the Rotary International, which joined the Nigerian government in achieving this feat. The report.
Global polio eradication exercise commenced in 1988. About 350,000 cases were being reported annually, with Nigeria recording between 800 to 1,000. Since then, the Nigerian government and other stakeholders have continued to champion the cause of ending the dreaded child disease in the country. Their efforts were, however, not in vain, as the country continued to record drastic reductions, especially in 2012, with 122 cases. 2013, 53 cases, while the 6 cases recorded in July 2014 was the last in the past 1 year. One of such stakeholders is Rotary International, whose members within and outside Nigeria converge on Abuja to celebrate this landmark achievement, as well as to set in motion formidable machinery for the continuation of the campaign.
We are very happy that we have gone this far, but then there are challenges. We still have to maintain routine immunization.
I tell you, this is a time for all hands to be on deck. Let's double our efforts, let's double resources. Every hand must be on deck for the next 2 years.
So it's a great time to be living in, be part of history, just like you are part of history making this interview. But there's still more work to be done.
And if you recall, in 2013, a very certain happened when some of our vaccinators were murdered in the course of duty in Kano. These are the true heroes and heroines of the collective effort we made.
International community used the occasion to shower praises on Nigeria for a job well done.
So that's a fantastic achievement, and hopefully they will be able to sustain that.
It is a great accomplishment, and we cannot rest until we accomplish something. We still have to fight.
I must congratulate Nigeria, the leaders, and also the people of Rotary, because we must have a polio-free Africa.
Having scaled the first hurdle, the challenge now is whether Nigeria can sustain this feat for the next 2 years before the country can be certified polio-free by World Health Organization. Like the saying goes, only time will tell. From the Sheikh Musa Radua Center, Abuja, Chukwunonso Moore, NTA News.
Many thanks, Chukwunonso. Moving on, the Nigerian Insurance PLC says, despite the global economic challenges, it has remained consistent in delivering its mandate. This came to the fore at the 45th Annual General Meeting of the company in Sokoto. Muhammad Nasir has the details.
Established in 1962, Nigeria Insurance PLC is committed to becoming the insurance company of first choice in Nigeria, noted for transparency, efficiency, and capacity in providing reported before tax for the 2014 stands as 638.5 million naira. Chairman of the company, Bala Zakaria, said the year 2014 began with planned review of the company's operations and strategies to improve performance with focus on cost optimization without compromising on efficiency of service delivery. This, he said, gave rise to the design and submission of about 10 new products to National Insurance Commission for approval, in addition to further reduce subsidiary and branch operations with a view to rationalizing non-profitable ones. The company, he said, was able to report good results despite the challenges in the global economy during the preceding year.
We try to do things according to the rules of the game, and we also are very, very aggressive. We know exactly what our customers want, and we try to give them what they want. And we do not predict for them what they should want. We try to package policies and insurance products that we believe our customers will find useful.
Managing Director of the company, Doda Kolapo Adedeji, said the economic environment impacted on the acquisition of quality business prompted the management to embark on intensive marketing activities in order to position the company as a leading choice in retail segment of insurance market. The meeting approved dividend of 3 naira 5 kobo per 50 kobo share, amounting to about 271 million naira.
The company has been doing well, despite the fact that the year has been very, very challenging. They rose up to the dividend to still give us dividends. They are doing very well, and I advise many people to invest into the company that is Niger Insurance, because they have performed well. Any company that is giving dividends is best on my side. They are very consistent in paying dividends, no matter how small. We are getting a dividend of 3.5 kobo as per. And we are very happy because the management are very focused.
The meeting will elect 3 directors of the company and 2 appointed non-executive directors. In Sokoto, Muhammad Nasir, NTA News.
Security reports reaching us say 15 persons died and 47 others were injured when a female suicide bomber in the early hours of Sunday detonated an explosive entrance of the Sunday market in Damaturu, the Yobe state capital. We will bring you more details of the bombing as we get there. Meanwhile, Governor Ibrahim Gaidam has condemned as callous, barbaric and unjustifiable the attack in a market in Damaturu Sunday, in which 19 people were killed and many others injured. A release signed by the Director of Press Affairs to the Governor, Abdullah Ibego, says it is another sad day in Yobe State occasioned by bloodthirsty terrorists. Commiserating with the victims, Governor Gaidam directed authorities at the Sani Abacha Specialist Hospital, Damaturu, to provide immediate and free medical attention to the injured victims. He called on security agencies in the state to step up surveillance and urged the people to be more vigilant and relentless in prayers for the Almighty Allah to help restore peace in the state and the nation. This is the news on NTA International, reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria. Earlier we told you that Mrs. Aishatu Buhari has charged governors' wives to introduce programs that will have positive impact on the lives of Nigerians. Up ahead, 40th anniversary of the first ever railway project between China and Nigeria.
President Muhammadu Buhari appears on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria tomorrow, Monday, 27 July 2015, running from 7 to 9 a.m. Don't miss it.
Thanks for staying tuned. Against the backdrop of the leadership crisis in the House of Representatives, President Muhammadu Buhari will tomorrow meet with all APC members in the House of Representatives on Monday at 5 p.m. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant Media to the President, Malam Garba Shehu, says the meeting will hold at the new banquet hall of the State House, Abuja. Agriculture, which is one of the major sources of income of Nigeria's economy, is currently engaging 70% of the country's labor force. Correspondent Musa Baba Aliyu, on a special assignment examines policies and programs introduced by successful administration to further boost the sector.
Since independence, agriculture has contributed largely to the economic development of Nigeria, providing jobs and creating wealth among the rural communities. However, the discovery of oil led to the neglect of the sector. Concerned with the development, policies, programs and reforms were introduced by various governments to revive the sector.
Policy direction is to use technology-driven and industry-focused agribusiness to undertake comparative advantage and competitive edge initiatives in commodity value chain and encourage strategic partnerships to market-led agribusiness to effectively diversify the economy.
Agriculturists are of the view that with huge investments, good prices and markets for produce, agriculture will remain a major source of income for the nation.
For most parts of the north, the main constraint to food production is water. Most parts don't have rain for more than 4 months.
Other stakeholders want government to ensure access to improved seeds, adoption of latest technology in the production and investment in the agro-allied industry and livestock, among others.
This system now will create a job. There will be work generation. There will be empowerment and capacity building.
We want to see how we can strengthen the whole value chain of areas that we think are very important. And one of our key ambitions in Nigeria is to see how we can support Nigeria on rise.
The present administration under Muhammadu Buhari has promised to introduce reforms that will guarantee food security of the nation, as well as improve the socio-economic well-being of small-scale border farmers who are the major producers of food consumed nationwide. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Punctuality, regarded as the soul of business, has often propelled people to lofty heights. In this report, Olayinka Ojo takes a look at the effect of African time in man's productivity.
Time appreciation is an earned culture in most parts of the world. But in Africa, particularly Nigeria, the story is different.
Many people believe that if an occasion or an event or there is time at 9, well, there's no point. By that time, nobody will be there. If I go, it will appear as if I'm the one who is most interested in that thing. I'm at the forefront of it and all that. So let me allow the first person come. Who will be this first person?
I don't believe in African time.
Many people attribute the challenge of punctuality to the unfortunate traffic situation in most Nigerian cities, as well as the busy schedule of people, among others.
Time is the basic factor we have to work on as a Nigerians.
Someone give an appointment at the right time and you didn't come there in time, so it can make you to lose the business.
At the workplace, a punctual person can be rewarded for diligence and reliability, while the one who arrives late can affect the productivity of others.
You can always keep to time when we're supposed to and always obey what we say.
There is nothing like African time. That it is best to keep appointments and keep appointments to time.
If your distance from your house to the office is like an hour and your resumption time is 8, I think you have to start leaving your house 5.
To cultivate the habit of punctuality, some say there is need for advanced preparation with adequate provision for unforeseen developments. Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
A report just coming in says President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated Mr. Abdul Wahid Odushile of the Nation newspapers on his election as the new president of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ. President Buhari believes that with his worthy credentials, long experience and antecedents as a highly respected and reputable professional, Mr. Odushile can be expected to discharge his new responsibility of leading the NUJ to greater heights of accomplishment with distinction. President Buhari, in a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, assures the new NUJ President and all journalists in Nigeria that his administration will consistently uphold their rights to perform their constitutionally assigned role in society without hindrance. The President looks forward to working in a harmonious partnership with Mr. Odushile, the new NUJ executive, and media practitioners in Nigeria as the federal government strives to ensure socio-economic and political development of Nigeria. This year marks the 40th anniversary of the completion of the first ever railway project between China and Africa. At the cost of about $500 million, the Tazara was the largest single foreign aid project undertaken by China under Chairman Mao Zedong and Prime Minister Zhu Enlai over 40 years ago, after Julius Nyerere of Tanzania and Kenneth Kaunda of Zambia appealed to China for help. Julieta Aino has the details.
就是在平时生活里面，大家还开玩笑。
Still with her deep personal attachment to Africa, Lu Datong was the deputy chief engineer for the Tazara Rail Task Force 40 years ago. Now well over 80, he is one of the remaining few Chinese who witnessed firsthand the kindling and blossoming of the China-Africa friendship through the first project ever undertaken between China and Africa.
China embarked on Tazara project, which is not only a dire necessity for us, but also a real life code of the livelihood of the people of Southern and Eastern Africa in their struggle for independence and the fight from discrimination based on color of oppression.
The Tazara Railway, linking the port of Tanzania's Dar es Salaam with Zambia's central province, was called a mission impossible by the West. It became the Great Freedom Railway.
It was easy to transport commodities to Zambia, so business was opened up. Villages sprang along the railway line.
Lu Datong and Railway Minister at the time, Song Yong-fu, still tell the heartwarming story of how the very first China-Africa monument solidified the goodwill and mutual respect between China and Africa. Unfortunately, due to lack of maintenance, the Tazara Railway is no longer functioning in its normal capacity.
All I can say is that the two governments are in discussions, to see how to deal with those problems that they've been facing.
A book dedicated to the project in China-Africa friendship was presented in Beijing. It contains a vivid rendition of the 1,860-kilometer journey to ensure all future generations of China and Africa do not forget.
The Zambian government and its people will never forget the sacrifices made by the Chinese people. It is for this reason that the Zambian government has allocated land to the Chinese embassy in Lusaka for the construction of a memorial site for the Chinese nationals who died during the construction of the railway line.
非常感谢刚才两位大使充满友好感情的。
Host of the book presentation, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi said China and Africa are poised to work more together for the industrialization and development of Africa for the good of the people. From Beijing, China, Julieta Aino, NTA News.
More reports from across the globe. U.S. President delivers personal speech in Nairobi addressing achievements and challenges. And residents in Lebanon capital hold protests as politicians fail to find a solution for mountains of uncollected trash. Details of this and more with Obiageli Ugoke.
Wrapping up a landmark trip to Kenya, President Obama addressed an audience of several thousands packed into an indoor arena in Nairobi on Sunday, before heading to Ethiopia, the second stop on his East Africa tour. U.S. President has told Kenyans that there is no limit to what they can achieve. He, however, stressed that they had to deepen democracy, tackle corruption, and end exclusion based on gender or ethnicity. In Lebanon, hundreds of protesters showed up in the sweltering summer heat on Saturday evening in downtown Beirut to demonstrate against the sea of garbage taking over the capital streets. Amid a significant security presence, the protesters charged government to find a solution to the piles of garbage in some areas of the city, which have risen to several meters in height. A funeral has been held in Chicago for a young African-American woman who was found dead in her jail cell as hundreds of protesters gathered in the U.S. state of New Jersey to campaign against police brutality and racial injustice. Sandra Bland, 28, died 3 days after she was arrested for a minor traffic violation in Texas. Obiageli Ugoke, NTA News.
And that rounds up the news. Thanks for watching. I'm Taiwo Odubesi.